Hello guys, what's going on? Specimen here. Today I'm going to be building what I do believe is the best way of playing Scoia'tael this season. As you can tell by the title though, it is not my deck, unfortunately. It is the boy Red Rains. I have pretty much stolen it card for card. I wanted to play obviously non-devotion myself and I came up with a very similar list to him. But there's a couple of changes that he made which I think are very sensible. So I'm going to build the deck, talk you through the cards. It's not a devotion deck, mainly because there's quite a lot of good cards such as Aneromancy, which just get you just unbelievable value. But it is of course a good place to start. It is of course a Gord deck. So whereas El Gordo, he's here. And you're obviously going to be playing 13 units, 12 spells to maximize the amount of value you get off Gord. And there's quite a lot of good cards you can include. I think a good place to start is Dunker. This card is still just great, even outside of a Glace decks. She is really, really good. But because you're not playing this devotion list as well, you're not worried about the symbiosis as much. So you're not going to be playing cards like Ethne. You're not as all in on nature cards as well. So you can definitely start using cards like Xavier again, which is just an unbelievably good card for his provisions. And you can, of course, use Yarpen. We're not using Figus, which I quite like. From the list I shared with you a couple of days ago in a devotion list, he was sort of the card I was least up for. He is kind of a little bit meh. We've got Fave, of course, who's going to be able to tutor our nature cards. Now, I think another good place to go on to is the boy Johnny. Just a shoe-in for this sort of a deck if you're not playing devotion. He is going to be damaging by 2 every time you play a special card, and he is a big powerhouse, and certainly a card Red Drain was using very successfully in the Open last season. And yeah, we're using a single Sage. You could go for 2 of these, but 1 is probably enough. You're going to be using a couple of Nature's Rebukes for sure. You're also going to be using a couple of Temperings for sure. And it makes sense to also use Miners, Berserkers, and Novigradian Justice. Now the reason is, these cards just get unbelievably good value in a Mahakam Forge list. Justice is obviously thinning, it's a special card. But with your Berserkers, you can... Essentially this card is worth 8 points, right? Because it's 4 points for... 3 points, 5 armor, so it's 8 points. But you can give it more armor with your Temperings and also with your Miners. So this card plays for 8 points for just 5 provisions. Similarly, your Miner, if you're giving a Dwarf like Yarpen or the Berserker or Xavier armor that's actually translating directly into points, so not Xavier, but if you're giving armor to Yarpen or the Berserker, this plays for 8 points because it plays for 4 with 1 armor. And then it's also going to give 4 points of extra value, 2 points buff, 2 points of armor, because armor translates into 2 points on Berserker and it translates into 2 points on Yarpen. Also just really handy for buffing up your Johnny, maybe buffing up your Dunker as well. So it's just too good not to use. Now there's a couple other considerations in here. Obviously we're using Aneromancy, and what this does is it lets you play 2 special cards in 1 turn, and it also lets you tutor a wide variety of cards that you were otherwise unable to tutor in previous Gord lists from last season. For example, Karathi Heatwave is just incredibly important. A big downside of these devotion decks is that you don't get to use this tool removal. Whereas when you've got Heatwave, you know, you've got that tool removal, which is just absolutely crucial in the Great Swords meta that we're in, and also lots of monsters. Now, obviously, Call for the Forest is a really great card. I will touch on this in a minute, okay, because it gets to the point in a second where I'm pretty sure all these cards are going to be shoe-ins. Triss and Forest Protector. Forest Protector, basically a better version of Triss, right? But Triss just still so damn good. It's a unit that gets to play a special card. And as you can see, we are at our limit of units. So this is all the units we're going to use. And we've got room for 5 more specials. Now, you might be inclined to say, well, obviously you're going to use Call of the Forest. And you're going to use a Council, right, Specimen? Right? And I was like, okay, well, let's try and do that wherever Council is. It's here. And then, oh, look, you can't do that. So, okay, maybe you're going to kick one of these units, but no, kicking one of the units doesn't make too much sense. So, obviously, you're going to kick the Council, right? Well, that's what I thought. I thought, okay, I'll just kick the Council. I'll use Call for the Forest. Maybe I'll ditch the Sage as well. And I can run a couple of Hammer Dryads because they're brilliant cards. I could then also run a couple of Dryads Caresses. Maybe even run like a Pact or something like that if I want to. The Dryad Enchantress is great as well. But this is where Red Drain is just much smarter than me, right? Because he goes, actually, do you know what? Call for the Forest, a lot of the time, I've already got all the cards I need. Whereas Council is 2 provisions cheaper, and it brings in a Dwarf, a Dryad, and an Elf. So obviously, The dwarf, it might find you gored if it's the last dwarf left. The elf is guaranteed to hit the sage, so it's really nice to include one sage with council. And the dryad, you've only got 2 options with the dryads. It can hit you fave, which means you're going to play 2 special cards in 1 turn, which is amazing. Or better, it's going to bring Dunker in, and it's going to put Dunker in at 6 power with 1 armor, which pretty much puts it out of the range of 99% of the removal cards that are in the current meta. So being able to play Dunker off of council is just brilliant, and you've got the backup option of a sage as well. So like I say, personally, what I had looked something like this. I was using Call of the Forest. I'll really quickly show you. I was using a couple of Dryad's Caresses maybe, and I don't know, I wasn't using council, right? I wasn't using a sage. I ditched the sage. I think I was using a Dryad Enchantress, and I don't even know what I was doing. Maybe like a runestone. Anyway, it wasn't ideal, right? I don't think I was using miners, in fact. But what you take with this route, you ditch Call of the Forest, you use council, and you're left with then 3 slots in here. You're going to use a sage as well, because sage is a guaranteed pull off council. You're left with 2 things. You might not use Dryad's Crest. I think you're always going to use 1 Dryad's Crest, just as a nice option off a fave. But with all the Skellige running around, there's a strong argument to run 2 Dryad's Crest. Red Rame I know is running 2. I think 1's enough personally, because you might get 1 off a Forest Protector if you really need one. So I'm actually using a Pact, just because I think a 6 for 4 special card is really solid. The Doom tag doesn't do anything, because you know you're not actually going to res anything. So I think a Pact is a nice option. Really nice card to play on Dunker. Also in your Johnny, if you want to use your Temperings elsewhere. So I'm using a Pact. You might want to use double Caress, but I think the fact you can have the option of 1 off Protector means you can get away with running 1. And you could obviously run another Caress, right? You could run, okay, well, I'm going to run 2 Caresses and 1 Pact, or 2 Pacts, 1 Caress. The problem with that is there's no good special cards in at 6 provisions at all. There's not a single one that you would want to use. This is an artifact, so yeah, pretty much you're going to run, in my opinion, 1 of each. But I know Red Rame's using 2 Caresses, and this is the only difference. And then you're left with, well, okay, what cards am I going to use? And it's probably a Runestone, because you can play 2 special cards in 1 turn with this. And it's probably an Adrenaline Rush, because it's an 8 for 5. Let's get into a game. Hopefully you can see pretty much the deck makes a lot of sense. It's better than a Symbiosis version for sure, because you get that tool removal. You've got cards like Triss, and also the Aneromancy is just great. Unfortunately, every time I build a deck, I feel like I'm doing this at the start of the video, but I'll keep it quick. Let's get into a game. You can see my MMR is half decent with Scoia'tael, having not played that many games. Obviously, look, Skellige is still very good at dealing with tool units, but the big difference between this Scoia'tael list and a Gored Syndicate deck is Gored gets really very big in this kind of a list. And wow, we're actually up against Congregate, which I'm going to be intrigued to see this geezer's deck. If it's similar to what I posted yesterday, if it's using Dyes Array, if it's more like a Portal list without Devotion. Let us see. I'm intrigued. I'm happy we're playing against something interesting. In terms of mulligan, obviously I've got 2 Berserkers in my deck, so we only want 1 of those in our hand, but I never want Gored in my opening hand. Johnny's great. This is decent as well. I don't think Caress is really doing too much against Congregate, so I'm going to kick Caress. And this is why I think having a Pact is 1 Pact, 1 Caress is probably a little bit better. We'll keep the Pact. I don't want to brick my... do you know what? I can probably risk the mulligan. Maybe I just kick the Adrenaline Rush. Maybe I kick Pact. I think we can kick Pact, right? We find Fave, which is always decent. And we're just going to lead pretty simply in with Xavier. I'm not worried about this getting taken out straight away. We can just lead him with him, get him running straight away. You're not going to Adrenaline Rush Xavier, but when you are playing Adrenaline Rush, you want to leave the back row pretty much empty. So it's a double Salamander Portal, I would imagine now. It is, so it's more of a Portal variation, which I still want to play around with. I've just found Portal is very low tempo for this meta, and it is a bit of a, yeah, it's a bit of a downer at times when you end up taking that route. Now, Berserker's really pretty pants here, right? It's really not very good at all. Similarly, the Miner is just going to be removed by an Assault, so I think, because round 1 is so important, I am going to maybe just fave one of these, honestly, with a what's the word I'm looking for? A Rebuke. Because that's also then going to deny him having 6 removal off of his assaults, which is pretty important. So I'm going to go in the back row. This is a decent Adrenaline Rush target, I guess. Maybe I should have just gone front row. As something like Johnny might have been better for the AR, but it is what it is. And of course, Xavier here is already at 7 points, and he's 7 provisions, right? And he's an engine that demands an answer. So if someone sinks damage into him, yeah, he's just too good not to use, right? He's just too good. And Neuromancy, so it's looking pretty similar to the initial list, which is still a solid way of playing it, for sure. Definitely still want to experiment with playing this with the portal. It's just I played against a couple of decks which just slammed me for points, and it felt pretty bad. I mean, maybe I should have saved my removal for these Fallen Knights. I'm pretty scared of getting out-tempoed here, so I think I just want to make a big tempo play and pass. I'm pretty scared, honestly. Maybe I should have kept... I guess I've got a Thunder still. I might find one off Triss too. Round 1's pretty damn important, I would say. We should beat him in a short round 3, but a long round, if he tries to push me round 2, it's very scary. Let's protect to this. As you can see, I've played really well to get my Adrenaline Rush value Kappa. Let's buff this to just threaten the pass a wee bit here. Okay, so it puts the Fallen Knight down. I think Triss is fine. I should be able to kill this still.
I'll do what I can.
Yeah, because he's obviously got the 2 damage by 4 cards. So obviously I've committed an awful lot, right? I have a lot of removal, which means I'm going to find it difficult to deal with Senior as well. But at the end of the day, my hand wasn't great, and we're going to win pretty comfortably. I mean, I could use my AR. I think it's fine to maybe just put down a Miner here, or a Berserker. Berserker's absolutely pantsable this armor, so let's just put the Miner down. Again, I've given myself a really nice way of playing my Adrenaline Rush by playing the Miner here. Yeah, I mean, the only consideration I'd say really with this list is Pact, Caress. I maybe didn't touch on it initially at first, but the reason why Hammer Dryads is because, yeah, if you don't use Hammer Dryads, then you've only got 2 Dryads to hit off council, which is Dunker or Fave, which is really good. I played a lot. I mean, winning round 1 is important, though, and I'll go for a bleed in round 2. I feel like we could probably win round 3 down a card. We'll see how this next round goes. So we're going to commit Johnny for sure. I'm going to Mulligan Gord. We just need to find a Neuromancy and we're fine. Heat Wave's pretty good. Not sure how good the Miner is really going to be. I guess it's a good first play and I could buff Johnny up. Berserker's not bad. Yeah, kick the Berserker maybe.
A superb specimen.
Acid Joe's following me even though I'm not streaming. This is unusual feeling for me to have that happened a couple of times. Look, I lose this guy in a long round for sure, right? So we need to just get some cards out of him. Definitely overcommitted round 1, right? For sure. I played a lot of great cards, but I guess I got a little bit worried about the portal. He calls Syndicate the worst faction, but am I about to lose to it with Scoia'tael? It's possible. Fallen Knights are great, and he's still got... Well, he's only got 1 left, right? But Senior is a worry for us too, for sure. So he's got old Skewer Tooth there.
Good grief, you're worse than children.
Now, he can kill Johnny if he's to invest 2 leader charges and a bloody good fun. That would kill Johnny. That takes away a lot of his potential points with other cards. If he doesn't manage to kill Johnny, I'll probably dump an AR down here. Oh, rest in peace, Johnny. So, I mean, at this point, I'm losing the round, right? I'm going to be a card down, which is pants. But I think we kind of always knew that would happen, to be completely honest. There's a chance I take it with Yeet Wave, right? He might just play, like, no other tool units, and he just banks on his Skewer Tooth. But it looks like he's going to call C. I don't know what he's doing there. Why is he... Okay, finds a Zard, denies the tribute, and then does this. Okay. Oh wow. Not the one you want to hit. But again, you can see we would have lost in a long round, right? So this is where going first is just a bit. It's just one of those things, mate. It's less than ideal. So I'll play the tempering, and that'll be about it for me. We'll be gone. Obviously, look, we've missed a ton of cards. Absolute ton of cards. Play the tempering, and then we are out a card down, but we do have leader ability intact. And we actually get the Fallen Knight out of him too, which is pretty good in fairness. Consideration to use the Yeet Wave still. I imagine his next card is just a Congregation, so I trade down quite a lot on that. Yarpen unironically would have been quite good there, but Yarpen's a very good target for our leader ability in round 3. Look, we're going into the last round of card down. He's only got one leader charge left. We went first. It's just one of those things, really. We finally find the Aneromancy. Better late than never, I suppose. Nature's Rebuke, I'm not convinced is doing much. In terms of engines, he's played 3 Fallen Knights. If it's my list, he's not playing Justice. I don't think Rebuke does much for us. Sage. Yeah, I can kick as well, to be completely honest. Probably just dies straight away. It's a pretty good card to pull, but you can see I've missed an incredible amount of cards, really. I can Aneromancy into Council, into... It will show me this, this, and this, but I will take the Gourd. It'll be my last play, right? Aneromancy into Council into Gourd, which is pretty good as things go. Obviously, the Sage could have been nice, but it would have just died straight away. Not sure why he's going to be an Exco as his first play. It's a Cleric.
The eternal fire shall consume all that is impure. Oh, you've done it now.
Of course, we hit the armor. Never lucky. Something like that. Can't win them all. And Yarpen, again, is going to be target for leader ability. It does translate into straight up points. No reason to use him just yet. To use this just yet, I mean. Obviously, I've got a tempering, which I'll probably use on Yarpen as well. We'll probably just stack Yarpen. This isn't the 2 armor's not going to translate to points. I'm not worried about tool removal against Syndicate. It's only Tavern Brawl that they've got. Obviously, he could have teched in like a Yeet Wave. He might have changed. I'm assuming it's my list, but it's probably wrong of me to assume. So look, we're 5 points down. I do have engines on the board and leader ability, so at the moment we're ahead. And my thingy's going to be bigger than his. My Gourd's going to be bigger than his. Problem is he's got last say, so I can't Yeet Wave his Gourd, right? That's the only reason we might lose this one, I'd say. We're not going to sink leader in just in case he has got the Yeet Wave. We may as well just wait on that. Excommunication on the Penance. At least I've got a good Yeet Wave target, right? That's something. Look. Adios, amigo. And we're ahead on points by 5, but he's obviously got a card on us. We've got leader though, so it's kind of equal-ish. But I'm pretty confident we'll take this. He's actually putting an AR. Oh, that's my, I was gonna say he's putting an AR in. That's so strange, but it was my AR. That makes more sense. So we're gonna Forge, and then we've got Aneromancy onto Council, which is guaranteed to hit Gourd. So this plays for 1 more point than forward, and it's 2 provisions less, right? And that should be enough. Last card, Gourd. Bank into Gourd, which is slightly better, admittedly, because he gets a couple of coins. It's a good effort from the lad, but it's not enough. Nice, 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 nice. So, I mean, fair play. This is my list I was playing on day 1. You can see why I like it, but you can also see why it's not amazing. Like, the Gourd's not as good. Let's play another game. You guys have seen me to want to make these videos slightly longer, and as I've got time, we'll play a couple of games here. I've been really enjoying making the YouTube content, and I imagine I might upload later today. Will probably be a more competitive deck. Maybe we'll go for like an NR list, or maybe we'll finally go for the Nilfgaard / Skellige. And I know Monsters is doing really well at the moment. The decks just feel kind of cheesy, man. There's quite a lot of dodgy balance cards in this patch, as much as I love. Speaking of dodgy balance, we're up against Skellige. We'll see what happens. Pact, not bad. Still a 6-point card. The Miner's not bad. Berserker's not bad. The Runestones, it's all half decent. I think the most likely card to kick is... This is an 8-point card. I guess the Pact in its hand. And Gord. You never want Gord. Though we've upgraded a couple of points by ditching Pact for AR here. Now this is why Dryad's Crest as well could just be a little bit better than the Pact. Obviously it plays for, well, 3 less points. But obviously you get the Purifier. I feel like 1 is enough, as I say, though, because you can always Forest Protector 1 as well. And Pact is just 6 points at the end of the day. How bad can a 6-point play be? Again, unfortunately, we do have the unluckiness, if you like, of missing the Aneromancy. We've missed Fave, missed Dunker. There's all pretty peak. I think we'll just lead in with a Berserker, who seems to be enjoying himself, it's fair to say. And this is why this card's just too good not to use. It's an 8-point card for 4, but with synergies, unlike Skellige's 8 points, where, okay, it's a bit of synergy, but this is the leader ability that makes it 8 points as well. It's not even. Maybe I'm just harsh on the Skellige 8 for 4s after all. This card's crazy good too.
If I go down, I'm taking you with me.
We're just tempering first. Obviously we need to win round 1. Are we going to be able to do that? Who knows? So I would certainly like to thunder this. I can tell you that for free. I guess we go for a council. We either hit Fave, or if not, we hit Dunker, which was a bit bad. I would definitely like to kill this though. I could of course go for like a Knights and Greens council, or just a miner and get this going. I could Triss to try and kill this. I think we're supposed to do this.
There's countless riches and corpses.
Yeah, Skellige's just got a lot of great cards, but we'll see what we can do. Rip, rest in peace, combat never forgotten.
Oh, you've done it now. Dance! Dance! Dance with me, death!
We hit the armor again. Can't say I'm too surprised. So council we know hits Sage. I could have gone for Sage earlier on. But, you know, it's also a very good card if I don't win the round to keep hold of. And there's, you know, chances are I'm not going to win the round knowing Skellige. Which, does that mean I just lose? Sorry, I just blew on my mic, that's so bad. Does that mean I just lose? Possibly it does, yeah. But he wants out, man. He wants out, which is really good news for us. I believe I just blew on the mic, I'm so sorry. I thought he used the leader charge, he didn't. Do this.
They can hide, but there is no escape.
I actually put it back row and it means I could yarp in this to kill it, which is half decent. Obviously, again, my adrenaline rush. Looking a bit sketch. I guess I could Yeet Wave Morkvarg. I'm probably supposed to do that, right? Yeah, that's definitely the play here. Maybe I should have just done that straight away. If we Yeet Wave Morkvarg, it banishes him. And that means I don't necessarily have to win this round. So maybe we can win after all. So it looks as though my friend here wants to pass. I'm going to do this still though. I've got this amount of points, I'm pretty sure. Even if I have to lead it, man, it is what it is, right? I get last say that way. Should have Yeet Waved on Morkvarg before playing this card though, for sure. Hey, now this is where it gets interesting. This is 8 points, so I could obviously play this and Forge. That will be enough by a couple of points. What if I was to use Isengrim's Council? Sage isn't enough. Xavier would come in at 9 points. 9 points isn't enough. Fave onto a Tempering. This plays for 7. This plays for 4, so that'll be 11 points. Which wouldn't be enough. So I just need to use my worst card and leader. Triss on Tempering plays for... yeah, not enough. Yarpen plays for 9, so not enough either. Not ideal. If I took the Yeet Wave a turn sooner, I might have just gotten out losing the round, but still had leader intact. Maybe you could have dealt with the Greatsword with the Triss or something. But as hands go, it's a pretty good one to go into the final round with. I've got last say. He's not got Morkvarg. I think there's a chance. We keep the Caress. Honestly, I kind of want to keep all of this, but I need to find my own Neuromancy. We keep the Caress for the Rupture card. So we ditch this, which feels pretty bad. This is a good card too. Yes. Can really argue with it too much. No lead ability, last say, and he's got no Morkvarg. His graveyard's pretty pants, in fact. But it's great swords, so, you know. We can't expect too much, I fear. Dunker, that means Council's guaranteed to Fave, which is pretty good. The Miner's not terrible. Obviously, I'd like Johnny, Neuromancy, Protector. Find Johnny. Is good. That is good. This is playing Fave at the moment. Guess we're ditching a Tempering. And we do find the Forest Protector, which is great. Big upgrade. We missed this card though, which is huge. And obviously, I've got a Nature's Rebuke through Fave. But yeah, this is unfortunate to miss this. And missing the Sage is pretty sad too. I've not even got a good way of buffing Johnny up, unfortunately, either. So he's probably going to die as soon as he hits the deck. With no lead ability and no defend dwarf. Whatever it's called.
Out of the crowns. Come on, quick now.
This can just get stunning blowed straight away. Might mean Johnny sticks though. Can't really do anything, but I guess I could dunk her and it might stick. Dunker herself probably gets stunned blowed. Off this? Oh, imagine. I guess it's better for Dunker to die to a stunning blow than this is though. This is worth more points. So we're down to SK. Well, we've got last say, but he's got leader, which is essentially an extra card, right? It's actually kind of like 2 extra cards because they can play it in 1 turn. Like 1.5 card advantage, but I've got last say, which does help. And obviously he's got no Morkvarg. But yes, you'll see. Imagine if Squirrel was 5 power. That'd be good. Rest in peace, Dunker. Rest in peace, Dunker. I mean, this is too good not to kill now, surely. He's just going to be able to play everything out of range, right? I've not actually played a rebuke yet. Crazy.
The only good human is a dead human.
He's just going to buff everything I want to kill out of range, right? It's not looking great. Is my early impression. But, you know. What can you do, man? What can you do? In comes Harold.
All of yous. Good week stand under old King Desmond.
We'll see what we can do with young Xavier here. Xavier, not sure. How is he going to perform for us here? Opponent thinking very hard about which play to make with his greatsword deck that he has climbed all the way from rank 11 to pro rank with. Sorry, I'm being mean. Nothing wrong with rank 11. It is taking a while though. Is it worth an emote? I think it is.
I've long been waiting.
Does feel like he's roping most turns. He's impacting the viewer experience. Okay. Well, it's time to see if Johnny survives. Spoiler alert.
Good grief.
Oh, was that you?
Worse than children.
Spoiler alert, he's not going to. This is where you want to use your forge. The ability. Great old total jump, boy. Obviously, my opponent, he's got a big decision to make. Which one of his overpowered cards does he play next? Does he play his 8 points for 4 provision card? Does he play his how many points is the? Does he play his 10 for 5? Or does he play his 35 for 6? Which one? So many decisions for my opponent here.
I've long been waiting.
Which OP card will he go for? Ah, it's not even one that's not even that overpowered. Well, I guess we tris and try and find a forge or a pact would do the trick too.
Just great.
Nice. The pact, you know, again, it's worth there. Would have been an AR wouldn't have done the trick. So pretty good. It having doomed does very little. Just means you can't renew it, right? And there's obviously some cards that, like, is it Will-o-Wisp? Will of the Wisp, something like that, that destroys a Doom unit. But I've got a sneaky suspicion my greatsword friend's not going to use it. Just a hunch. Of course, it's going to take another 10 minutes to decide which card he plays. I'm sorry for emoting him, but honestly, people that take this long are quite annoying at the best times. But when they're playing, you know,
You have my sword, and I'll cure
this is why I use this card as well, right? This is also worth another emote.
Let me give you something to remember.
Let's go, Johnny. Now, Rupture is very, very good. If you've got the answer to it, it's obviously not that good. But problem is, lots of decks don't have an easy answer to it. This one, however, does. Missing out on a Neuromancy is so peak, man. Just imagine if I had a Neuromancy now. It gives Gord an extra point, gives Johnny an extra point, 2 points. Feels bad, man. Obviously, you just don't want to give him any good res targets, even though he's already got a greatsword. I don't really want to play any taller than Johnny is already gone. Doesn't really matter playing tall. Yeah, I guess I Yarpin and then I Tempering. Seems the most logical play. So we're at 5 points down. But we did get his Morkvar. Ghost Dog follows when I'm not streaming. Jeez. Ooh. Obviously, we're 5 points down. He's got leader, I don't. I've got El Gordo, but he's got El Greats Audio. El Gordo versus El Greats Audio. Ouch. Scial, huh? Okay, that's a change of plan. Get riggedy wrecked, son. And Sunny, well, I was going to say we're ahead. We're not. Somehow, even though I countered this card. Neither of us use the abilities. I've only played golds. I had 1 point of carryover. We're still not ahead. In comes the Great Sword, the most balanced bronze card in the game. Of course, he lucks out with Harold and hits both my back rows. And we lose. Which seems really fair. Oh, it's Josh! Oh, that's so awkward. Well played, Josh. What a guy. Oh, I was emoting him as well. That's so awkward. Well, GG, Josh. Josh. It's just for the content, my friend. That's funny. Oh my god. You need to be careful of what you say, right? Josh knows it's nothing personal, mate. He's an absolute boy, mate. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. Like I say, when this video goes live, probably going to be starting my stream up. Or I will be starting maybe like 30 minutes after it goes live. So if you're watching it and it's gone live within 30 minutes, see if I'm streaming. If you've watched this far and you want to see more, thanks for watching the video. Deuces.